know and inspire.
So have you ever woken up and just had that feeling like, I'm living, but I don't feel like I'm really living?
Oh, absolutely. You're going through the motions.
Exactly. You work, you eat, you socialize, you even, get your rest.
Mm-hmm. But underneath, there's this emptiness.
Yes. A sense of just floating along, like you're on a current, but you're definitely not at the helm.
Right. And if that sounds familiar to you listening, well, you're really not alone. It's surprisingly common.
It really is almost like living life on autopilot sometimes. And I mean, who hasn't felt that way at some point?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into this really profound distinction made by the psychologist Míchay Csikszentmihalyi.
Yes, his famous line.
There are two ways to live life, in the flow or in a drift.
Such a powerful way to put it.
It really is. And our mission for this deep dive is basically to get to the heart of what flow and drift actually mean for your life.
Understand the difference.
Yeah, how to spot it. And crucially, how you can maybe shift from just drifting along to, well, truly feeling alive.
Okay, so let's start with drift. That feeling you described, that sense of unconscious existence.
Right. It's when you're busy, your schedule might be packed,
but you're not really involved in what you're doing.
Just going through the motions, no real sense of meaning or like a chosen direction.
Exactly. We came across a great analogy for this.
Oh yeah, the boat analogy.
Picture yourself on a boat, right?
Yeah.
And you're rowing really hard.
Putting in all this effort.
But you have no idea where you're going, no destination in mind.
You just row because, well, it feels like you have to, maybe.
Mm-hmm. You're tired, the boat's rocking, and the idea of actually stopping rowing just fills you with panic.
That really captures it, doesn't it? That's the essence of drifting.
It does. And there was this personal story in the material we looked at that really drives it home.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was someone describing a period where they were definitely drifting. They had a job, earned a salary.
Doing all the quote-unquote important things.
Exactly. But every single evening, the feeling was the same. I wasted the day. I wasn't really living.
Wow. And it wasn't about being unhappy, necessarily?
No, not about being sick or sad. It was just this profound lack of engagement. The effort was there, rowing hard.
But the involvement, totally missing.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's the unsettling picture of drift. Busyness without meaning. But what's the alternative? How do we, flip that script?
Well, thankfully, it's not the only way. The counter, as Csikszentmihalyi points out, is flow.
Flow. Okay, so if drift is unconscious existence.
And flow is conscious living. It's being on that same boat, maybe rowing just as hard.
But this time?
This time you know your goal. You feel the wind. You hear the rhythm of the oars. You're looking at the horizon with purpose.
You're involved, not just tired.
Exactly. Involved. And the crucial thing here, the key distinction, isn't really the amount of effort.
Right. You can row hard either way.
The real difference is direction and awareness.
That makes sense. And Csikszentmihalyi had this insight about happiness too, didn't he? Something about creating it.
Yes, it's quite revolutionary, really. He said, happiness is not something that comes to you. Happiness is something you create when you are completely immersed in the action.
Wow. So happiness isn't about kicking back on a beach or just resting?
Not primarily, no. It challenges that common idea. He suggests happiness is actually found in that state of complete engagement.
So it's an invitation to really enter life.
Rather than always feeling like you need to rest from it.
That's a huge reframing. So if it's not about rest, but engagement, how do we actually do that? How do we create it?
Well, it's a mindset shift, for sure. And the material we looked at actually detailed a personal experiment someone did to test this idea.
An experiment, okay.
They decided to pick just one simple action, writing.
Okay, writing, but not for any specific goal.
No, that was key. Not for money, not for fame, just the act of writing itself.
And there was something important before they started, right? A ritual.
Oh, yes, the ritual of intent. Before writing, they sat, closed their eyes, and made a conscious declaration.
What did they say?
Something like, today I am not drifting. Today I am in the flow. A deliberate choice to shift their internal state.
Okay, setting the intention. And what happened?
The breakthrough was surprisingly quick. After just about 20 minutes of writing, no rushing, no phone checking.
Fully immersed?
Totally. They forgot about time, forgot about anxiety. It shifted from doing something to actually living.
Wow, not doing. living.
Exactly. And that really solidified the idea that flow isn't about the outcome, the success. It's a state of being fully present.
So happiness isn't something you achieve when things go well.
It's something you experience when you are fully involved in the now.
This personal story lines up so well with Csikszentmihalyi's big research project, doesn't it?
It really does. He studied thousands of people, artists, athletes, scientists, surgeons, craftspeople, a huge range.
And what was the common thread? What did all these different people experience that he ended up calling flow?
The unifying thing was that they described moments where they were, in a sense, wasting time, forgetting themselves, acting purely for the sake of the action itself.
Lost in the activity.
Completely.
Yeah.
And the contrast was stark. He found people with wealth, fame, comfort, all the external markers who were living in drift.
And they still felt.
Something is wrong, deep down.
So it really drives home that message. Meaning isn't about your circumstances.
It's about your involvement.
Okay, this is so clear now. Meaning isn't just out there waiting for us. It's something we enter into.
Right.
So for someone listening right now, maybe wondering, how do you actually know? How can you tell if you're in flow or if you're caught in that drift?
Well, there's some pretty clear indicators. When you're in flow, you often lose track of time.
Time just flies by.
Exactly. You feel this sense of being deeply rooted, like, I am in my place right now.
You're acting easily, but with focus.
Yes, easily but deeply. You're definitely not thinking, when will this be over? And you're probably not checking your phone constantly.
Okay, those are good signs. And what about the signs of drifting?
On the flip side, drifting often feels like being busy, but without that true sense of involvement.
Just going through the motions again.
Yeah. You might have that nagging feeling, I feel like I'm wasting my time here. There's often comparison happening.
The comparison trap. What if I did that instead?
Exactly. Living in the past or worrying about the future rather than being right here. And feeling tired, strangely tired, even if you haven't done much physical work.
That's a big one, that bone-deep tiredness from disengagement.
Those are really critical signs to notice in yourself.
Okay, so we've got the picture, drift versus flow, and the signs to look for. But the million-dollar question is, how do you actually shift?
Right. How do you move from drifting to flowing when you notice it happening?
We found this great practical guide in the source material. They call it a ritual of engagement.
Yes, it's designed for exactly those moments when you feel yourself just going with the current. A tool.
So what's the first step?
Step 1 is simple but powerful. Stop and ask.
Just stop.
Yeah. Close your eyes for a moment, take a breath, and genuinely ask yourself, where am I right now? Am I in the flow or am I drifting?
And the key is?
No judgment. Just acknowledge it. Be honest with yourself about your current state.
Okay, acknowledge where you are. Step 2.
The step 2, pick one thing. Just one simple action where you can aim to be fully engaged.
What kind of thing?
It could be anything, really. Writing for just 10 minutes, like in the experiment. Or maybe cooking a meal without your phone buzzing next to you.
Or going for a walk and really noticing the trees, the sounds.
Exactly. Or drawing something, even if you think you can't draw. The point isn't the result, it's the process. Can you get involved in the process?
Got it. Focus on the process. Then step 3.
Step 3, live it as flow, just for about 10 minutes. Treat it like a little game, not a chore.
How do you mean like a game?
Focus completely on what you're doing. The movements, the sounds, the sensations, really tune in.
And if your mind wanders, because it probably will.
Oh, it will. And that's okay. Don't fight it. Just gently notice and bring your focus back. Maybe silently say to yourself, I am here. I am involved.
Okay, gently guide yourself back. So 10 minutes of focused engagement. What's step 4?
Step 4 is surprisingly simple. Say thank you out loud.
Out loud?
Yeah. Open your eyes after 10 minutes and actually speak the word. Something like, thank you for the flow. I can already feel it. I am alive.
Huh. It sounds simple, but I can see how that would sort of seal it, that affirmation.
Exactly. It anchors the feeling.
And the final step, step 5.
Step 5 is about carrying it forward. Live from involvement. For the rest of your day, make a conscious choice.
Every time you feel yourself drifting back,
you consciously choose again. I choose flow. I choose presence. It's about repeatedly making that deliberate choice whenever you catch yourself slipping.
It's like building a muscle then.
Precisely. A muscle of conscious presence.
Now, I can imagine some people listening might have this fear pop up, like, okay, but what if I just stop and do nothing. Isn't that unproductive?
That's a common fear, definitely. But the material poses a much more powerful counter-question.
Which is?
What if you keep drifting? What if you keep going through the motions, being productive but uninvolved,
And one day you wake up, maybe years later.
and realize, I lived my whole life, but I didn't actually feel it?
Oof. That hits hard. That really reframes the whole thing.
It does, doesn't it? The choice isn't really doing something versus doing nothing.
It's about choosing to live this moment fully.
Truly, with presence and involvement.
So wrapping this up, if you've stayed with us this far, maybe you're already feeling it. That core insight.
Which is that you don't have to, climb a mountain to achieve happiness.
No, you just have to enter the flow. It's already available.
It's not a future state, a will become, or a maybe someday. It's right here, right now.
It's about declaring, I am already here.
Yes, that power of presence. You don't need to wait for happiness to arrive. You claim it by saying,
I am here. I'm involved. I am alive.
And it shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not really about chasing some external result or feeling.
It's about cultivating that internal state of being.
And the realization might be,
Yeah.
you weren't actually looking for happiness in the way you thought.
You just needed to stop drifting.
And by stopping drifting, you started living, really living.
So that meaning we're all searching for, it's not out there somewhere.
It's an internal state we step into. You don't have to look for meaning. You have to enter the flow.
You don't have to wait.
You just have to say, I am here. I am involved. I am alive.
This whole deep dive, really, it's been about uncovering that life, the one that's already waiting for you.
Right inside your own conscious presence.
Know and inspire. Subscribe and like, because it will be more interesting further.